Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. So I came across this interesting article by Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report titled ranking every NBA starting five after the Kawhi Leonard, Paul George bolt for the Clippers. You know, pretty much like after anything like major has happened in NBA free agency. I thought this would be a good opportunity not only to roast this list, because I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities to do that, but also give you guys like my thoughts and opinions on every single NBA team this far in NBA free agency. Like what exactly like their starting five is looking like, and how I think they're going to perform next season, if I think they're overrated, underrated based off this list, all that good stuff out there, man. So if you guys could do me a quick favor and please drop a like on this video, would be greatly appreciated, guys. It only takes a second of your time. And as always, check out the second channel, Extra Crispy, link in the description below. Almost to 40K subscribers. So if you don't mind dropping a subscription over there, man, would be greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you all so much for that. All right, and also let me know in the comment section below who are your top 3 to 10 to 30, whatever you want to do, man. How many tops you want to do, teams in the NBA. Like, who do you think, you know, the first best, the second best, third best, all that good stuff out there. So here we go, man. Here we go. All right, so we got the bottom 15. So ranked as the worst team currently in the NBA, according to this guy, is the Cleveland Cavaliers with a projected starting five of Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Cedi Osman, Kevin Love, Larry Nance. Yeah, I mean, pretty much what I see here is not only do you have a second year and a first year player in your backcourt, but also they are both naturally point guards, so we have no idea how that's going to work, you know, especially when it comes to having to play defense and on some of the opposing great backcourts in the NBA, or, you know, really just guys shutting these guys down, bro, because, I mean, what, Colin Sexton's like 6'1", Darius Garland's like 6'2", 6'3", so could be a bit interesting. Cedi Osman, I think, is a good player. I don't know if he's a great starter. And then you got Kevin Love, who always has injury issues, and how motivated is he these days? And Larry Nance is fine. I mean, just fine. So, yeah, I'm kind of pretty much good with ranking the Cleveland Cavaliers currently as the worst team. Next up, we have the New York Knicks. So, this one's kind of interesting. I don't know if Dennis Smith, RJ Barrett, Kevin Knox, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. I mean, a lot of this is going to come down to how RJ Barrett comes out in his rookie season. Also, Kevin Knox in his, second year now in the NBA, how those guys do. Because, like, Dennis Smith, he's never going to be, like, the greatest point guard in the NBA, but he's going to be serviceable enough. Julius Randle had a career last season, so he's going to be, like, the focus point probably now. Mitchell Robinson's going to block some shots, score a little bit on the inside. You know, Kevin Knox, RJ Barrett is really going to come down to those two guys right there. So far in Summer League, RJ Barrett's not really playing all that great. He is only 18, though, so, I mean, I definitely see there being a big-time adjustment period for them. Next up, we have, tied for 28th, we have the Washington Wizards with Ish Smith, Bradley Beal, Isaac Bonga, oh my god, starting at small forward, Rui Hachimura, and Thomas Bryant. I mean, honestly speaking, bro, like, I know Bradley Beal's like an all-star caliber player, but just the rest of this lineup is so horrible. But, you know, with the exception of Rui, we don't know how he's going to be. Yeah, Thomas Bryant's okay. And Ish Smith, like, is... I mean, I watched from the Pistons for years. Like, he's not going to score a ton. Like, every now and then he'll have a nice game, but that's about it. But, I'm going to be taking that Knicks starting five over this Washington Wizards starting five. Not going to lie. So, yeah, especially Bradley Beal ends up getting traded for something. Now you put John Wall back in that lineup. Maybe you actually get a small forward that's not a point guard. And, you know, maybe we'll have a different discussion out there. Next, we have the Atlanta Hawks. So the Atlanta Hawks actually just acquired Jabari Parker via free agency, because he was a free agent, of course. So they got him for like a 2-year deal. So you might see him in the starting five. Probably not, though. I would say this will probably be the starting five. You got Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, Alex Len. Now, of course, you couldn't put Cam Reddish in there. Although, I can see Cam Reddish probably starting his career off the bench, just because, like, DeAndre Hunter is kind of like a jack-of-all-trades guy that can do a little bit of everything out there for you. And then Kevin Huerter, I thought, had a very low-key good season for the Atlanta Hawks, where you don't just want to, like, throw him to the bench right away for Cam Reddish. Now, eventually, I could see Cam Reddish getting there, but, I don't know, man. I would probably say the Atlanta Hawks, I actually see them as, like, kind of a bit of a sleeper team in the Eastern Conference. Not to, like, win the, you know, not to, like, get to the finals or anything like that, or winning playoff games, but maybe just, like, get to the playoffs. Just because I think Trae Young and John Collins, that's, like, the real deal right there. And they had a great, fantastic offseason. So, yeah, so far I think this list is kind of trash. Not going to lie, man. Like, the order of it is kind of trash. Because, once again, because it says tied for 28. So, I guess they're tied with the Charlotte Hornets. I'm still taking this Hawks team big time over the Charlotte Hornets. They got Terry Rozier, Nicholas Batum, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. One? Okay, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Okay, Marvin Williams and Cody. So I thought there was 6 players listed there for a second. It might take 6 players in their starting 5 to win any games out there, because, you know, Terry Rozier, he'll obviously have a bump in his numbers because he's now the starting point guard. But, I mean, he got a pretty large contract. You know, Batum has been trash since the Portland Trailblazers days. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist freaking shoots like this. And Marvin Williams, old. Cody Zeller, injury prone. This team, I don't know, man. Charlotte Hornets might be right there with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, I guess Malik Monk and what's his name, Miles Bridges, they could have potentially a nice jump and they could do something out there. But I would probably put Miles Bridges over Michael Kidd-Gilchrist at this point. I'm just saying, man, like, you might as well go all in and start playing your younger players and hopefully they develop into something. But yeah, man, Charlotte Hornets not gonna be good this season. Wow, the Sacramento Kings at 25th. Damn, this dude has no faith in De'Aaron Fox. And I mean, Dwayne Dedmon, he's a decent center. I mean, he's not the greatest, but he's decent. Buddy Hield was nearly a most improved player. Harrison Barnes got paid, so that's either going to make him motivated to go out there and prove that he's worth that contract, or it might be like his last big contract and he might just be like an okay player. And you got Marvin Bagley, who I'm actually really excited to watch this season, just because he was on the bench for a lot of last season for the Kings. But I mean, you know, he's going to start now, I think, and I think he's going to have really a most improved player caliber season. Like, I really expect some good things from Marvin Bagley. Was he the second pick in the draft or something like that? Next up, we have the Brooklyn Nets. So keep in mind that Kevin Durant is not listed here because he's going to be out all season pretty much with injury. So we got Kyrie Irving, Caris LeVert, Joe Harris, Taurean Prince, DeAndre Jordan. This list is okay. This is garbage. I can't even, man, because guess what? I'm looking at number 24 Brooklyn Nets. And then I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Yes, you can. Right here, I see the Memphis Grizzlies. You mean to tell me that anybody on the Memphis Grizzlies is going to make this team a better starting five than damn having Kyrie Irving out there? You have one of the best three-pointers in Joe Harris. Taurean Prince is nice. DeAndre Jordan's a veteran. This dude's on crack, man. Stay off the weed. I don't know, whatever Stephen A. Smith says. Stay off the weed crack. This guy's doing it all. Wow. Number 24 for the Brooklyn Nets. That's a playoff team. You got Kyrie. It's a playoff team. 24th in the bitch-ass NBA. Come on, man. Come on, Cub. What's that? What is Chris Move says? Next up, we got the Indiana Pacers. Oladipo is going to be out probably till February, around that time. So, right now, they have it listed as Malcolm Brogdon, Jeremy Lamb, TJ Warren, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner. The only reason that I could see this team, like, struggling a little bit is for one, you have so many new players added into the equation. Like, their entire backcourt's different. You got TJ out there now. Bojan Bogdanovic was, like, one of their best scorers last season. With Victor Oladipo being out, so you lose that. And I don't know if Sabonis and Miles Turner, I don't really think those guys can operate together in the starting front court. I don't think that's where the NBA's at. So I could see him struggling there. Now, eventually, once Victor Oladipo gets back, you're looking at a lineup probably a Brogdon and Oladipo in the backcourt, kind of sharing the basketball, kind of sharing the point guard duties. I would probably go with Jeremy Lamb at the 3 just for his scoring out there. TJ at the 4. And then continue to do what you've been doing pretty much the entire time with Sabonis and Miles Turner, kind of switching those two guys out. But yeah, I mean, Oladipo's obviously going to hurt. I don't know if it makes him the 23rd worst team, or 7th worst team in the NBA or whatever. For the Memphis Grizzlies, we have 22nd, of course. They have John Morant, DeLon Roy, Kyle Anderson, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Jonas Valanciunas. So apparently this team right here is better than the Brooklyn Nets, man. Apparently an unproven rookie, and John Morant, who I'm very high on, by the way, is better than Kyrie Irving, is what they're saying out there. I'm taking Caris over DeLon. I'm taking Joe Harris over Kyle Anderson. You know, Jaren Jackson versus Taurean Prince. I'm taking Jaren Jackson, Jonas Valanciunas. At this point, probably a bit better than DeAndre Jordan, but not by, like, much. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Oh. Detroit Pistons. Okay, I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, yeah. They got Derrick Rose now, but they got Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, Bruce Brown, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond. Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of waiting for them to go out there and maybe make another big signing or a trade. I've been hearing kind of talks out there, Russell Westbrook. I hope it happens just so I can do that rebuild. Just so I can do that rebuild. Maybe the greatest rebuild of all time. But yeah, as of right now, I am expecting a big jump from Luke Kennard. I think he was fantastic towards the end of last season. You know, Griffin, obviously an all-star. Drummond, we know he is at this point, which is a double-double type of guy. And then Reggie Jackson is pretty consistent. Now, Bruce Brown starting as small forward. He's been kind of killing it in summer league, been actually scoring the basketball pretty nicely. I do think eventually Siko Dunboya ends up being the starting small forward after some time, you know, if they want to go the direction of developing him and if he really takes off, you know, sometimes in the NBA games. Next up, we have the Orlando Magic. We got DJ Augustine, Evan Fournier, Jonathan Isaac, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Vucevic. So they got them listed as 20th in the NBA, which we also got to keep in mind here too, man, is like just because you're listed kind of lower on this list does not mean you can't make the playoffs, because it just might be that there's like stronger Western Conference teams, and therefore, you know, not every single Western Conference team, despite being stronger than some of these Eastern Conference teams, are going to make the playoffs. That's why, you know, teams like the Minnesota Timberwolves have struggled for years, because they've always been better than a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference, but never good enough to make the Western Conference playoffs, so it always kind of sucks for them. But yeah, the Orlando Magic, I am expecting some more moves by this team still. I think a big one, obviously, is going to be trading Mo Bamba. There's just no way you keep Mo Bamba now. You invest in 4 years into Vucevic. Mo was a top pick in the draft, one of the best prospects out there. It's like, you got to give the kid a chance. It's clearly not going to be on this team. I mean, in hindsight, I don't think the Magic expected Vucevic to become an all-star last season. So, like, okay, let's move on from him. But then he was. It's like, okay, we got to actually pay him now. He got us to the playoffs. So, go out there, trade Bamba to a rebuilding team and see what happens with him and maybe get a few veteran pieces back or, guys that can kind of help you right now. Tied for 19th, we do have the San Antonio Spurs list. Wow, no respect to the Spurs. Because, the Bulls will be fine, but damn, bro. Because this team got DeMar DeRozan. In my opinion, he's listed as a small forward now, but was one of the better guards in the NBA. LaMarcus Aldridge, they actually recently just got DeMarre Carroll and Marcus Morris. So you're probably looking closer to the lineup of DeJounte. I'll probably say Derek White, DeMar DeRozan, probably Marcus Morris at the 4, and then LaMarcus at the 5. Marcus and LaMarcus. That's going to be confusing as hell, man. Oh, my God. And then you got Lamar, and Mar. Okay, that's going to be crazy. Of course, you got DeJounte Murray back. We don't know exactly what he's going to be like, but defensively, I do think this team should be pretty solid out there. All of LaMarcus at center, a little sketchy right there, but DeMarre Carroll, he's a freaking dog out there too. So I think defensively this team will be pretty nice. I do have them being better than the Chicago Bulls. Not tied for 19th, actually better. So we got the Bulls listed right here. Tomas Satoransky. I still think Kobe White ends up being the starting point guard of that team. Zach LaVine. I mean, I do expect a little dip in his stats this season, but that's just because there is more talent around him now, where it's like, okay, we don't need you shooting 30 times a game. Zach LaVine, go out there, pick your shots, be a little bit more selective with them. You'll be good to go. Otto Porter is fine. Thaddeus Young was actually a nice little low-key addition. Only thing I don't really like about it is that, now they are going to run Lauri Markkanen at the center spot. How exactly does that hurt Wendell Carter? I mean, I would probably... I don't know, man. It seems like this Bulls team trying to be competitive at a time where they don't really need to be competitive. It's like you got a rookie point guard. Wendell Carter is gonna be back healthy. So I don't know, man. I mean, I like that he's young. He got paid on this team, so good for him though. So I don't know, whatever, bro. Next up, we got the Phoenix Suns. So I do actually expect the Phoenix Suns. I could see them sneaking into the 8th spot of the playoffs this season. I mean, I know there's a lot of strong teams out there in the West, but I absolutely love the signing of Ricky Rubio. I think DeAndre Ayton has had a very underrated rookie season. He was not really looked upon as one of the great rookies out there. Of course, the big focus point was Luka and Trey, and then obviously DeAndre Ayton was there, but just not enough attention where I think he's going to be seen. I think he's finally going to be seen out there, man. Of course, D-Book continue to improve. Mikal Bridges, I think, has a big jump in his stats this season. And then Dario Saric was actually a nice low-key pickup, just because some of the problems with the Phoenix Suns, the past few seasons has been the playmaking, because, of course, Devin Booker is really the only guy that could do that. Never really had a great point guard. Ricky Rubio was going to play some defense, get the ball DeAndre Ayton, but also Dario Saric. I know back when he used to play Euroball, he actually was kind of like a point forward, so he might low-key be a nice guy to help this team kind of get flowing a little bit when it comes to playmaking. All right, next up, we do have the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Jeff Teague, Andrew Wiggins, Robert Covington, Jordan Bell, Karl-Anthony Towns. Interesting team. I do like the idea of Jordan Bell out there, just because I still think that he can be a very solid player in the NBA. He just needed an opportunity, and this is a nice opportunity right there. But at the end of the day, we know that Karl-Anthony Towns putting up elite center stats is not really enough for this team to do anything. And outside of getting Jordan Bell over a guy like a Taj Gibson, I mean, this team hasn't really made a lot of improvements, man. They lost Dario Saric, you lost some floor spacing with that. Covington's nice. Jeff Teague is a year older. And then you got Andrew Wiggins, who is just a very high volume, low efficient type of player at this point, man. So, maybe we're sleeping on Wiggins. Maybe this is finally the year we've all been waiting for, but I'm not really expecting it to be. And, I think the Timberwolves are a little bit too high up on this list compared to some of the other teams listed. Next up, we got the 15th through 6th right here. So we got the Toronto Raptors listed at number 15. And at the end of the day, you lost Kawhi Leonard. Yes, you were the team that won the championship last season, but losing Kawhi Leonard and replacing him with Stanley Johnson and Rondae Hollis Jefferson, yeah, you're going to take a little bit of a dip right there. Now, being listed at 15th is actually pretty nice. That is paying respect to some of those other players out there. Marc Gasol is still a nice player. Kyle Lowry is still going to, be one of the higher assist guys in the NBA, score a few points out there. OG, his rookie season, was a nice player before his injury, so maybe he actually does something, getting to relish in that role as a starting small forward. And then, of course, you got the most improved player, Pascal Siakam, maybe looking to take even a farther leap to an all-star. Maybe makes the all-star team next season, and things are just good to go. Now, my honest opinion, I would not be totally opposed to this team looking to shop Kyle Lowry and Marc Gasol to some bigger contenders out there and try to get some assets, and then just start, rebuilding around Pascal Siakam. Like, just go for that. You guys won your championship. Let's close the window, open up a new one, and just, the sooner you start that, the better. Next, we have the Miami Heat. So, Goran Dragic, who was not even supposed to be on that team. I thought he was traded to the Dallas Mavericks. Turns out he wasn't. Jimmy Butler, Justice Winslow, James Johnson, and Bam Adebayo. Jimmy Butler is going to be nice, but I've been saying it probably for the past year or two now that I don't think he's at the point in his NBA career where he can be the number one option on your team and you're going to have great success out there. I just don't think he is that unless you have just like the most amazing supporting cast around him. And I mean, Winslow's nice. It'll be interesting to see if he plays some more point forward this season. Dragic, I don't even know what Dragic is anymore, guys. I mean, he's been injured so much and just like, he's fine. James Johnson is a guy that more operates on the inside now. His three-point shot's not been really good the last few seasons. And then Bam Adebayo is, what Bam is these days. He's a guy that plays on the inside, grabs some rebounds, play a little defense. So I am kind of afraid for the spacing of this team. I have a feeling this team might struggle offensively, but in the end, they will be fun to watch because it will be fun to see Jimmy Butler kind of take over again. But I think 14th might be a little generous once they go out there, make a big-time trade, get a Russell Westbrook, get somebody like that. Next up, we have the Portland Trailblazers. So I've absolutely loved the moves of the Portland Trailblazers this season, or this offseason, I should say. For the life of me, I can't remember who they got. I know they re-signed Rodney Hood, but I'm completely drawing a blank right here, guys. Oh my God, who'd they get? I remember now, guys. They got Kent Bazemore in a trade. I like him because he's a nice scorer out there. And we also had with Rodney Hood when they actually got a nice score at the small forward position because, of course, they had like freaking Evan Turner and Mo Harkless for the past few seasons. Mo is fine, not a big-time offensive guy. And then, of course, the guy staring right in front of me, Hassan Whiteside, who is on a contract season in a new situation, in a winning environment. I think for him, guys, where he doesn't have to be the number one option, I think Hassan Whiteside has a really good bounce-back season. Like, I'm expecting some great things from the Portland Trailblazers. And dare I say, Western Conference Finals. I will say it. And apparently, the Dallas... See, man, this is fun, like, talking about the teams, but damn, these rankings are garbage. How is this a Bleacher Report article? This is garbage. I like the Dallas Mavericks, but you all got them listing over the Portland Trailblazers. Jalen Brunson is fine. Tim Hardaway Jr., fine. Luka Doncic's going to be in his second year. Might be an all-star this season. We have no idea what Kristaps Porzingis is going to be like. And Dwight Powell is just like a serviceable center. I mean, they're going to be a nice team. Better than the Portland Trailblazers? Have you lost your damn mind, bro? I'm excited for the Mavericks, though, regardless. Next up, we have the Boston Celtics. So they have Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, and Enes Kanter. Ooh, big yikes defensively, guys. Oh my God, big yikes defensively. You're losing one of the better defender guys out there in Al Horford and replacing him with Enes Kanter. And you got Goran at the 4. I mean, offensively, this team is going to be one of the highest scoring teams in the NBA. Like, they're going to be fun to watch. But I fear for the team when it comes to defense, man. Like, I mean, I know you got like Marcus Smart and players like that coming off the bench, but still, it's going to be interesting. I don't think they're completely done making moves. I actually would not mind seeing Robert Williams start at center and give him the chance to start because I think he'd be a nice player at the 5 spot, or maybe even at the 4 because, you got Enes Kanter who is offensive oriented. You might actually be able to get away with Robert Williams at the 4, which I think people were saying he played that in college anyway. So just for defensively, I would probably do that. Just use either Gordon or Enes off the bench based off what you're trying to go with. Then we have the OKC Thunder, despite losing Paul George, listed over the Boston Celtics. So you got Russell, of course, who might be gone at this point. By the time you're watching the video, bro, OKC might be going way back down that list. So, Russell, Shea, Roberson, Neil Gallinari, Steven Adams. On paper, I actually don't hate that team. They did recently just get rid of Jeremy Grant. He was traded, I believe, for a first-round pick from the Denver Nuggets. So, they have, 7 draft picks or something like that. Well, this team is actually pretty nice. Shea Gilgeous is 6'6". I think he's more than capable of playing the shooting guard spot out there. Plus, at times, he can handle the basketball. Russell Westbrook can cut to the basket, do things like that. Gallinari was a 20-point per game scorer last season. Roberson has the defense. Steven Adams, nice on the inside. It's not a bad little team, not going to lie, man. I know OKC Thunder fans are kind of overreacting with losing Paul George, but at the end of the day, having that be your starting 5, plus all those future draft picks, it's pretty good. Number 9, we have the Pelicans. Okay. I like Jrue Holiday. He will be shooting guard. Lonzo will be the point guard, so probably got to switch that around. Brandon Ingram going to have a really good opportunity to really just come out of the shell and become, really build upon a good season last year for the Lakers, man. Like, he was not a bad player for the Lakers last season. Zion Williamson, like, I know we don't know exactly what he's going to be yet, but he's going to be fun to watch regardless. He's going to throw down some nice dunks. I have no idea what his stat line is going to look like. And then you got Derek Favors at the center spot, which is good, man. Derek Favors, good basketball player, was a bad power forward, is a great center. That's what I see him as. Now this team could have some big-time spacing issues. Of course, they got JJ Redick out there now, but he's probably not going to start based off this. And quite honestly, man, I wouldn't be opposed to the... no, I would be opposed to that. Because I was trying to figure a way to work JJ Redick into the starting lineup, but that would require Lonzo or Jrue Holiday to play the small forward position, which is not a good situation to be in. Next up, we have the Denver Nuggets. So they're very interesting. Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Torrey Craig, Paul Millsap, Nikola Jokic. Of course, we might see Michael Porter work his way into the starting 3 spot, but they also just got Jeremy Grant, like I was just saying, who... amazing 3-and-D guy out there. Now I don't know if he's really much of a 3. I do think in this NBA he's more of a 4 because he's a 6'9" athletic guy that can kind of really defend any 4 out there. So he put the small forward spot, and then all of a sudden, you kind of negate some of that, some of the things that make him unique at the 4. So you might be okay with just going with this. They got rid of Trey Lyles. So my guess is probably just going to be Jeremy Grant going off the bench. But yeah, man, I mean, Denver Nuggets, one of the better teams last season. I don't see any reason why they're not that this year either. Utah Jazz, one of my favorite starting 5 in the entire NBA. Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Rudy Gobert. I love that they got a 20-point per game scorer in Bogdanovic playing the 4 spot. I mean, defensively, I think he'll be okay. He's like 6'8", so he'll hold his own out there. Having Rudy Gobert out there will be nice, of course. I do think this team falls off a little bit defensively. Not too much, just because, you go from Derek Favors to Bojan at the power forward spot. You gain something big time on offense. Lose a lot defensively, though. But, I mean, it will be nice, man. I feel like the spacing of this team is going to be on point. Mike Conley's going to be very motivated. You got Donovan Mitchell, who will play great with Mike Conley. Can't wait. Golden State Warriors. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, interesting team. Steph Curry, D'Lo, Alfonso McKinney, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney. I mean, it's going to be the splash bro, and it's going to be the freaking splash stepchild out there. Like, that's going to be the offense of this team. McKinney will shoot his little corner threes. Draymond Green, I mean, not going to bring a lot of scoring. Then Kevon Looney going to catch some oops and stuff like that. But, I mean, 6, I guess I got to pay respect towards Steph Curry, respect to do, but I could see them being, like, based off this lineup, in a very strong Western Conference, I can see them being like a 6 seed next season, which isn't bad. But I don't really see them being a top seed anymore until maybe a Klay Thompson gets back from injury and proves he's something out there. Next up, we have the Milwaukee Bucks. So Eric Bledsoe, Chris Middleton, Sterling Brown, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. Another team that I think the only way they get to the 5th spot is if Giannis just has another step, and I think he does have another step, another tier he can go to. I think he can go to a Hall of Famer, godly type of tier out there. Of course, he was MVP last season, of course. But, I'm going to be the first one to say it. I mean, losing Brogdon is going to be huge. Brogdon was such a smart player. He's a guy that could go out there and do everything pretty much for you and did it very efficiently. Losing that, replacing that with a Sterling Brown is... you're going to find a little dip right there. So unless Giannis just is ready to take over, man, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this Bucks team. I mean, Eric Bledsoe, not the greatest in the playoffs. He had some moments out there, but for the most part, not really all that efficient. So I could honestly see Eric Bledsoe getting traded next season. I don't know who to. Sorry, guys. My bitch ass nose been itching this whole video, man. I hate allergies, man. Allergies be killing me out there. But Bucks will be an interesting one to kind of keep your radar on next season. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Clippers. So Patrick Beverley, Landry Shamet, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Montrezl Harrell. They actually just got JaMychal Green back on a 2-year deal. Now, with that being said, I actually do like this for the starting 5. I like JaMychal Green come off the bench and be fine. Now, if you do want to go with like Kawhi or Paul at the 2, then the other one at the 3, that's fine too. But I think Landry Shamet getting a chance out there to be a starter, and after what he did in the playoffs last season, will be nice. I think JaMychal Green is probably better served off the bench anyway, just because I don't know. I really don't want Paul George, Kawhi being the 2, just because that kind of takes away from Lou Williams' minutes at times. And I like this at the starting 5. I do like this for the starting 5, and being 4th in the NBA. I honestly have the Clippers as the number 1 best team. I really do think they are that now, but we'll kind of see what the rest of this list says. And then next up, we got the Los Angeles Lakers. Bro, who have we not seen yet? Rondo, Danny Green, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins. I think DeMarcus Cousins has a most improved player type of season. Like, I know he's been a star in the past, but I really do think, man, he plays some motivated basketball playing with AD again. Having LeBron out there, he's got good chemistry with Rajon Rondo. The Lakers are going to be very exciting, man. I think it's going to come down to the Lakers, Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, plain and simple. So we'll see, though. You know, the big thing with them is that their depth could be some issues, or if they have a major injury, you could see that happening. But even with that, like, you got Kuzma coming off the bench. That's going to be one of the best, like, you know, top 2, top 3 bench players in the entire NBA. Quinn Cook was a nice little signing. You got JaVale McGee. So really, their depth isn't even bad. I mean, you got Alex Caruso, who could be solid. You got KCP. No, they're going to be fine. That's a nice team. And then we got the Philadelphia 76ers number 2. I'm all in on the 76ers team. I know there's a few skeptics out there saying that this team's going to have spacing issues. And sure, maybe. Or a lot of people saying that Al Horford at the 4 spot no longer works. I don't see why not. I think he's very quick on his feet. Do I think they're the second best team? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. For the Eastern Conference, I will probably say the 76ers. It's gonna come down to the 76ers and Bucks, in my opinion, for the team. And I think the 76ers, that they gained more and the Bucks lost more. I do have the 76ers going to the NBA Finals next season. I don't have them winning it. I do have them going to the Finals, though, and probably losing to the Clippers. That's kind of that. And then number 1, we have... What? The Houston Rockets? Okay, okay, man. Okay, oh my God. Okay. This is not meant as a hate video towards Houston Rockets. I like the Houston Rockets. It's a good team, man. They're going to be top 4 team in the Western Conference. But the number 1 ranked team, I guess if you want to say, okay, well, they're the most proven. Okay, I'll listen to you on that statement. But, I mean, Chris Paul, him and James Harden having big-time beef. Clint Capella's proving that he's no longer the optimal type of center in the NBA. James Harden's usage rate is off the charts. We're not even using anybody else out there these days, man. He had like the highest usage rate of all time, like 70% usage rate. This is insane. Absolutely insane, man. They didn't get anybody. They did not get anybody in free agency to warrant this, guys. Okay, I'm going to say, man, this video is getting pretty long right here, so we are going to call it quits. But plain and simple, man, Houston Rockets, nice team, but definitely not the best rated team in the NBA. It was fun talking about all these teams. Not going to give you guys my quick insights on them and stuff. And I'm still expecting more moves to be made. But regardless, the best number 1 ranked team in the NBA. Big yikes there. I do think the order of this list was pretty trash. Give me your guys' thoughts in the comment section. So if you want to give me a top 30 list, you want to do a little project, let me know, guys. I'll read all the comments and everything like that. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace out, my friends.